afternoon. Today we will be discussing the three phases of college instruction. My name is Linda Davis, and this is for Class EDU 653, Teaching in Higher Education. Professor Shan Duncanson, and this is October the 8th. First, let's look at the three phases as stated by Martinez-Ponce of 2003. They are pre-engagement, second is engagement, and the third is the post-engagement. Under the pre-engagement, there is a needs assessment, diagnostic activities, instructional objective, instructional module development, instructional assessment, module implementation, formative evaluation, and crisis intervention. Under the post-engagement, there is summative evaluation, student remediation, methodological revision. And if you look on the PowerPoint, you'll see with me, under the pre-engagement, we have a teacher sitting at a desk because the first thing she wants to do is complete her needs assessments, her diagnostics, her instructional objective and test analysis, her test development section, her pre-testing and grouping, and the instructional module development and debugging. All of this is done with pre-testing, questionnaires, because what you want to do here is you want to find out what does the student already know and what does the student need to learn, so you can develop your curriculum to fit the needs, to meet the needs. Next, we go into the engagement, and this is where we actually bring the students in, and this is where you're going to be doing your lecture, you're going to be encouraging the student, you're going to be facilitating, you're going to have groups, and you're going to have formative evaluations. And that's going to be in the form of, like, the little pop quizzes and tests and consultations, where you're actually going to be finding out, is the students really getting this? And if they're not, you're going to make adjustments to your curriculum so that you can make certain that the students are learning what it is that you're teaching. After the engagement, then we have the post-engagement. And this is where we have the summative evaluation. In your summative evaluation, that's where you have your final exams. You have your oral presentations, your final oral presentations. You have your final project is due. Here, there are the tests, the questionnaires. The teacher can observe you as you do your final oral presentation. And also in this area, we have the remediation. The teacher actually looks back and they say, now, how did the student perform? How did the instructor perform? How did the institution support? And if the students really did not pass the final exams and scored very low, or there were problems where the students really did not learn, this is where the teacher wants to make changes to the lesson plan so that the next class going forward, they will do better. And if you look at the PowerPoint that I sent you, you'll see a mind map. The first mind map is the letters and the words are hard to see, but it gives the big picture. It has the three phases, and it breaks them down into the pre-engagement, into the engagement, and the post-engagement. And then the next page, if you look at that, it's broken down to where you actually can read the different activities that go in each phase. There were questions that were posed to the students. The first one was, how is each phase best conceptualized at the college level? The phases are conceptualized at the college level as follows. In the pre-engagement phase, the educator performs in preparation to engage the student in the teacher learning efforts. And this is from Martinez-Ponce 2003. He also stated that in the engagement phase, that's where the educator involves the students. And that's when everyone comes together, and there's lectures, there's facilitation, there's group discussions. That's in the engagement phase. After the engagement phase, there's the post-engagement. It's like after everything is over. You take a look back and you see, did the students learn? Was my teaching effective? That means, did they actually master the information that was taught to them. And this is where the teacher, would make corrections to her curriculum and her lesson plan to ensure success in her future attempts with her next classes. The next question was, how relevant is each phase to the success of college teacher learning efforts? Well, they're very relevant, because if the teacher doesn't know where the student is as far as what the student already knows, they will not know what they need to focus on or concentrate on, and they would not be able to write an appropriate curriculum to meet the needs of the students. You also have students that have different learning styles. So in your first stage, that's where you find out what their learning styles. You may ask them, what do they like doing? Do they like reading? Are they a reader, writing? Are they audio? Are they kinetic? Are they tactic? Just how do they like learning? And then you design your curriculum to take in all the different learning styles. So it's very important, phase 1 and phase 2, to teach and to focus on, to see, observe, do the formative, to make certain that the students learning. Do the little quizzes. Are the students really learning the information? And then make adjustments. And then finally, the final exam. That's extremely relevant. That's where you get your scores from. That's where you get what's going to go on their grades. That's where they get the grades that they passed the class. And that's where you look back and you say, well, was I very effective? Did I do a good job? Am I a good teacher? Are the students learning? Did I meet the learning styles? What do I need to change for my next class? So every phase is very important in college education. And the other question was, what are the areas of each phase in need of elaboration or further research? Well, I said in the pre-engagement stage, I like to do more further research on the feedback and the corrective actions. What type of corrective actions are effective? Do you give the person more homework? Do you drop them? Do you fail them? What type of feedback? You want to give them positive feedback? Who needs feedback? What type of feedback? When should you give the feedback? That's in the pre-engagement. In the engagement phase, I said I would like to see further research on what type of rewards. What type of rewards can you give the students to motivate them, to inspire them, to get them engaged and involved in the learning process? And in the post-engagement, I said I'd like to do more research on observations. What would be observed? Would you do presentations, videos, plays? I'd like to do a little more research on that. And the final and last question was, what do the fields of adult education and educational psychology say about the activities that take place in each of the 3 phases of college instruction? Well, per Martinez Ponce, the field of adult education and educational psychology have much to say about the activities that take place in each of the major phases of college instruction. Well, they want to know. They have a lot to say about the activities. Are all of these activities necessary? Are the activities working? Are they effective? What are the best activities? What activities do we need to enhance? What activities do we need to take out? They have a lot to say about it. That's some of the questions. As you can see on my PowerPoint, there's a final page that gives the reference. It's from Continuum Guide to Successful Teaching in Higher Education, located in New York. Thank you very much.